Hey boys and girls, the Junkman here with another episode of DETALKS. And joining me today is Levi Gates.
Hey Jay.
And my buddy Brian. Look at you, man. You're about to mess us up here, man. We got this down. Today we're going to cover the differences between long and short throw polishers and why we like or dislike them. And starting off, we're going to go to Brian first here. What's your opinion?
Well, I finally switched over this year to a long throw polisher.
And that reason being?
I just wanted to try it, and I did some training with Levi over at his shop, and I really liked how it felt. And so I got a Zen tool from Optimum, and the first day I gave it a try, and I was like, wow, this thing really eats up swirls. Like it just correction time, so much quicker. Before I was using 6-inch Griot's Garage DA. I still use it every now and again, just depends on the paint. But I love long throw polishers now. Like it really takes time out of my detailing, gives superior results in a quicker time.
Okay, all right. And Levi, your take?
Well, I was a Rotary guy for a long, long time. I still love cutting with a Rotary. I still love, doing some middle stages with a Rotary, but once I started finishing with the DA, I started with a short throw DA with the Porter cable, and then once the Rupas came out, then I bought those, and man, I was like Brian, it was like the heavens opened up, and I heard birds and angels, and it was like, oh my gosh. And
your hands
now,
weren't numb.
yeah, my hands weren't numb, and my arms weren't as tired of swinging that Rotary. But I still haven't tried a forced rotation machine like the Flex. That's on my list of tools. But I liked how fast you'd have a job with a smaller rotation machine. If you're trying to do a full correction, it's going to take you a really, really long time. You're going to have a lot of hours. And as a shop, I couldn't justify that number of hours. So going to a long throw machine made it a lot easier to get the job done quicker. We were able to get a ton of correction out of that long throw, but there are still certain paints where you have to finish with a short throw machine. There's certain types of polishes that just work a lot better with that short throw. So there are many cars where we'll start with a Rotary, if it needs a heavy cut, we'll Rotary it and a wool, and get the first layer of defects down, and then do a medium step with the long throw polisher, usually like our Rupas 21 or a Zen tool, and then final step, we'll either do a final polish or we'll actually apply a sealant or a wax with the short throw, one just to get more depth and warmth out of the paint. So.
Okay, now for those of you who don't know, when we talk about long throw and short throw, we're talking about the distance or the size of the orbit that the machine is making. Now, the way that it is sold, they say that a larger throw will correct the paint quicker. Now, what they're saying is, if you're doing this, you're only covering so much of the paint as the machine's working. Whereas if you're doing this, you're covering more paint so you can fix more paint faster. Now, this is coming from the Weekend Warrior. Here's my opinion. Now, keep in mind that since I don't do this really for a living, and a lot of the cars that I touch have more curves than Marilyn Monroe, I find long throw polishers only being useful for me when I'm fixing a semi-trailer or a 1990s Volvo. Something boxy and square. Other than that, all that throw does me really no good, because I'm going around a lot of curves and the way the cars are shaped. So for me, short throw polishers are really all I'm going to use. And by having a forced rotation short throw like the Flex, I can get a ton done a lot faster. So I can definitely see the advantage of long throw in the detailing business where you're touching every kind of car out there.
Well, and I've got the ability to have a myriad of long throw polishers in different sizes. So I can have a 3-inch pad with a 12 millimeter rotation, which is still a really long throw. It's almost half of what the 21 millimeter throw is. So I can get in those tight spots and still get that correction and work out of those tight corners using a smaller pad,
Right.
getting those intricate areas.
But
I have the ability to buy all those.
right,
A lot of
being
guys
in a
don't.
business, it makes sense
Right.
though.
Yep.
For someone like myself, a weekend warrior, you're really only going to need what your car requires
Right.
if you're not touching a whole bunch of different
Yeah,
cars.
you don't need a couple $1,000s worth of
No,
polishers.
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Though it's fun.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
fun.
To
And
play,
Brian will
yeah.
come over and find out when he finds out I've got a new machine, he wants to come over and play with it.
Well,
So
buying tools
it makes it
is
nice.
fun.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it kind of justifies it for me, more because I'm like, if I try it, then I'll want to buy it.
Yeah.
Because before, Rupes has been out for quite a while now, and I just haven't. I was like, it's just kind of expensive. Like I don't want to make that jump. And what was nice about the Zen tool, it's like right in the middle, and it
Right.
still has the power and the stroke and everything. And as soon as I got it, it was just a Cadillac.
Yeah. And if you know what you're doing with the tools, I always like to equate it back to David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, David didn't have no fancy sword and
Nope,
shield
nope.
and that, but he could swing one heck of a rock, So if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
you can pretty much pick up any
Yeah.
decent tool
Sure.
and get the job done.
Exactly.
All right.
I can't tell you the last time I ever touched a rotary, to be honest with you.
I hardly ever use mine.
Yeah.
Hardly ever.
Mine's a DeWalt, probably 12 pounds.
Same one.
Yeah.
9227C.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah.
Same one. Well, there you have it, folks. That was our throw on our throw
Literally.
on long and short throw polishers. If you have any questions or topics you'd like covered, please feel free to leave that information in the comment section, or
Email me at levi@theragcompany.com.
there you go. So that concludes another episode of DETALKS. This is the Junk Man, shining out.